Yeah, what up? Dodo, let me see.
Are you ready for some more dancing? Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're getting awards. Somebody's getting an award. You want to see who's getting an award? Come on, guys. I want some
energy here. He wants to defund the police. Why is he at an NYPD event? He wants to let out all the criminals. Oh my god, what's the deal with this stupid music? Yeah, they want to get rid of the police and let out all the criminals. Like, I don't even know why the fuck he'd be there. It's just stupid. Thanks, Dodo. Beyond fucking stupid. Well, they didn't just bring on trolls for Gary. I mean, that's just retards in their community that, you know, wanted to come on and talk. It's not really up to them. Ugh. I don't like that guy's face. I'm getting so many fucking videos with guns in them that I can't watch.
Conference in the world, and we're here to see the future of home gyms. And
also reacts to its Claudine Gay dot all over again.
Let me take a look.
That sounded a little bit too good to be true. Well, this sociology professor, now 41, has been accused of plagiarism, which he denies, accused of copying nearly verbatim.
Does melanotan have UV protective effects? Why do you think black people exist? So melanotan increases melanin production. And yeah, melanin protects against UV. That's the whole reason black people are a thing and darker skinned people are a thing. You should use it in conjunction with sunscreen if you can. But the reason I'm using melanotan is because I can't use sunscreen. I always break out in like fucked up rashes.
In his doctoral thesis, more than 100 passages just from one other academic's work. His defenders immediately did, you know, a Joe Hockey and claimed he was the victim of racism.
A baseless smear campaign against a distinguished black academic isn't just a personal attack. It's an attempt to shut down a black person who has a platform, and they keep doing this again and again.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah. And Cambridge University even dismissed the plagiarism
White
allegations,
women.
brush them aside. But then other claims they made on investigation turned out to be completely false, like running 600 miles in 6 days, or like appearing on a famous TV show, 7 Up.
I was part of a program, actually, which...
Okay, yeah, this guy's a crazy, deranged, fucking beta male liar.
It doesn't really exist anymore, but it was called 7 Up at the time. And 7 Up is basically when they follow you over the duration of your life. So they follow you at kind of 7, 14, 21. And I was pulled out of the project when I was 14.
Good God, what's with all these college professors plagiarizing things?
You know, they're retarded. Thanks, Dodo.
Small problem. 7 Up was first filmed 21 years before our day was even born. It also lied about fundraising it'd done, about foreign aid work it'd supposedly done, about a visiting professorship it never had, and on and on. Joining me from London is Talk TV host Samara Gill. Samara, great to see you, but what an amazing story. And the question is, how did he get away with it for so long?
Goodness me, Andrew, I never want to...
Well, he's surrounded by retards, and normal people aren't going to listen to this weird fucking tranny-looking, like, gay dude. So, yeah, that's how.
So we need to talk about the story of Jason Arday, because instructing law firms to write threatening letters and making
These authoritarian laws that clearly violate the Constitution First and Fourth Amendment passed. How the fuck are these politicians so stupid? They want to require IDs for social media, Google, iUse, games, Yoop.
What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today?
Screen Act,
talking
Kids
about
Act,
the Screen Act today, all the results for it, the Kids Act, oh, a little bit of echo, Kids Online Safety Act, and all the above. Hope you guys are doing well.
This is Europe.
Hello,
right?
everybody. Wow, we already got some donations. So basically, you know, ID age verification. So that's pretty unfair.
And I know it gets frustrating sometime. And
Oh, is this Texas?
You barely hear it? Is it too quiet? Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit.
Crews and shots.
Dude, like, why are there these people who are fucking just absolute boomers who probably don't even have a computer? Like, don't know shit. And then they're the ones voting on this kind of horse crap. Like, these people are just so fucking ancient. Like, they should be retired. They shouldn't even be fucking working at this point. Like, look at this fucking guy. Dude, it's just, you know. Yeah. Just dumb as shit. Thanks, Q.
making complaints to the police just because someone's raised legitimate questions is, in my personal view, absolutely unacceptable behavior. And it's exactly the sort of thing that I've been talking about recently on this channel. And that kind of thing must be addressed in a free and democratic society. So if you want to support me in this endeavor, then please do subscribe to the channel. That genuinely helps more than you know. Half of you that watch this channel don't.
It's global, nationwide, for the whole US. They want IDs for everything. How the fuck is this constitutional?
Yeah, that seems to probably... It seems like it'd probably be unconstitutional. I don't know if that'd be like a Fourth Amendment violation. It'll probably end up being challenged in court at some point, if I had to guess, by somebody. But who knows? Thanks, Q.
start drinking alcohol when they're a freshman in high school. It's absolutely absurd to me how there's not more education about this. You almost never hear any health professionals going into schools and advising kids on the risk of alcohol. A lot of the times it's the parents trying to enforce their will upon the kids. But if your parents just tell you to do something without explaining why, or tell you not to do something, a lot of the times it makes you want to do it more.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just don't like the authority. You want to be a free spirit. But if my parents were to say to me, look, here's what's actually going to take place if you do this. If you go ahead and you drink, you're severely giving a toll to your brain, absolutely neurotoxic. You're stunting your growth. Your collagen and skin are going to go to shit. Your liver is going to be terrible. Like, then I would sit there and be like, well, you know, that's not something I want. I'm not going to drink. But, you know, parents just don't have that level of thinking. So it doesn't make sense. People start.
Yeah, parents are generally pretty fucking stupid. At least he tells people not to drink alcohol, even though he drinks himself like a retard. He's not as serious about looks maxing as he says he is. Like, he won't go to the fucking gym and work out properly. Fucking won't, like, eat a healthy diet and abstain from alcohol. Which is fucking weird, even though he says it disrupts collagen synthesis and ages you like fucking crazy. I think he's just kind of lazy.
Don't subscribe, believe it or not. It is free. It's a big button down below. Please do that, and let's get on with it. Now, if you're not familiar with who Jason Arday is, let me bring you up to speed a little bit. He's been all over the media just recently, and he's at the center of a growing row over allegations of plagiarism. In short, he stands accused of copying and paraphrasing chunks of other people's work and dumping them into his PhD thesis without proper citation. And it doesn't stop there. A whole range of other claims that he's made about himself have also come under scrutiny, many of which to the point that at least 2 universities have now put out statements that appear to contradict what he said, which I'll come to in this video. And a charity has publicly cast doubt on claims that he's made. They've said that we don't send people to do that kind of work. And to top it all off, this is a man whose entire public story rests on the extraordinary premise that he didn't speak until he was 11 years old, couldn't read and write until he was 18, and then went on to be the youngest professor in the history of the University of Cambridge. It's a remarkable story, and that is precisely why the questions being asked are really important. So,
yeah, this guy is just a crazy wacko liar.
So that is not to detract from anything that he's achieved, anything that he's accomplished. But we do have to look at these allegations. We do have to look at the questions that have been raised. And we do have to sort of raise an eyebrow and a bit of a frown over instructing law firms to write letters to threaten a news outlet from publishing the story, and reporting a journalist to the police for asking questions. And then the police investigated this for 4 months. And the journalist only found out about it because the police rang up to say, we've dropped the investigation. This is outrageous. We have to stop looking at these things in this way. If someone raises a legitimate question and criticism or whatever, we need to answer it. You know, if someone asks me where I got my degrees from, I can tell you, and I have the certificates, and you can ring them up and check. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. So let's look first of all at this article here. The news outlet killed a story on plagiarism allegations after he hired this law firm. So this goes back to September 2025. This is from retractionwatch.com. I will link all of these below. Anything that I say in this video is either reporting on factual events and news reporting, or it is my personal opinion. And I encourage you to read everything and form your own views. Don't just base it on anything I say or even the bits that I show you on here. Go and read them all in full, form your own opinions. And these are my opinions for what it's worth. So in a moment, I'm going to come to the bombshell article by Nathan Kofnas, which compares these allegations of racism side by side. And we'll have a look through and see what we think. And while we're at it, you'll also find in the description links to other articles, one by the BBC, one by Alison Pearson at The Telegraph, and also a fairly comprehensive one by Donna Louise over on X. And so I'm going to be back with this in just a moment. If ever you've used AI, then listen up, because a Reddit post went viral just recently because somebody discovered. I'll put that as a link in the description below. So this goes back to September 2025, when Times Higher Education had a bombshell story in the works where this star sociology professor, Jason Arday, at the University of Cambridge, had allegedly plagiarized parts of his PhD thesis and several journal articles. In one of the articles, borrowed text that appeared in quotes from subjects that the professor claimed to have interviewed himself. Now, I've got an anecdotal story that I'll tell you in a little bit as well, which for me brings much of academia into question and why we should question these things. It's the very premise of why these things are peer-reviewed in the first place. Now, this says, after Arday instructed Carter Rook, who is a leading defamation law firm, to send Times Higher Education a letter, they killed the story, according to 3 sources.
Thoughts on taking Anavar for first-time steroid user?
Well, Anavar is extremely safe. It doesn't really do anything, so it's not going to cause gyno. You're very unlikely to get high blood pressure from it. It can raise hematocrit, but it's not a big deal. Like, that's really all it's going to do. It is liver toxic, but it's the most mildly liver toxic steroid. There's trials in children where they were using it for stunted growth, where they're giving kids Anavar for years and they're totally fine. So, like, that should give you an idea. The worst thing that really Anavar does is it can skew your lipids a bit. It will crush your HDL, which probably is not a great thing, even though HDL appears to be non-causal with heart disease. I would just make sure you keep an eye on your ApoB. That's the more important thing. If you're only taking Anavar, you're going to have a shutdown of testosterone. And after about 8 weeks, you're going to notice that your test is, like, pretty fucking low. You're very likely going to end up having things like erectile dysfunction. And the kind of anabolic benefits you're getting from Anavar, they'll probably slow down or become, like, non-existent by that point. So, like, it's kind of stupid in the grand scheme of things to just run, like, just an Anavar only cycle, because it's just not a properly constructed steroid cycle. You need to have testosterone as a base for any cycle. If you just want to see, like, how you like steroids and you're kind of worried about injecting needles and stuff, you know, it's something you can do. But if you're serious about just training and building muscle, you have to run a test base. Thanks, though, Essex. Appreciate the donation.
It says here, one of the sources, with another, reviewed a 63-page dossier of text comparisons prepared by the publication last year and came back with his own findings. There is no question, he says, that there is extensive plagiarism. This was David Sanders. The allegations against Arday finally emerged last week in the Substack from Nathan Kofnas, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you some of these side-by-side comparisons, and you can make up your mind what you think. But it didn't end with Arday instructing lawyers to write letters. He also reported a fellow academic to the police, who then investigated it. So this is that bit of the story here. The academic was Dr. David Harris at Plymouth Marjan University, and was one of the first scholars to raise concerns about Arday's doctoral thesis and several peer-reviewed publications on race, inequality, and education, including the treatment of concepts such as structural racism, whiteness, decolonization, and racial microaggressions. And so this exchange resulted in being reported to the police. So, and it says here, Harris's opening email to Arday was almost absurdly polite, unmistakably scholarly, but also courteous and measured. He explained that he was reviewing Arday's work as part of a wider research project and attached a detailed document setting out concerns about what he described as puzzling similarities in the reported data, repeated passages, and possible failures of attribution. The covering email concluded, "I would welcome any response." But when none came, he sent a bit of a follow-up. And Arday then replied that same day, but didn't address the substance of the concerns, instead recast his intervention as little more than pettifogging criticism of spelling and grammar and evidence of failure to appreciate the structural racism and ableism, which in his view, such scrutiny helped to perpetuate. He said, "It's disappointing that you've imposed yourself on me in the manner that you have without any
Oh, criticizing me is racist. Nobody can criticize anything I do because it's racist. Oh my god. Yeah, buddy, this is modern academia. Like, colleges are not really a place for, you know, smart, rational, sane, intelligent people anymore. It's just a breeding ground for communist ideology and just fucking nut jobs.
Reflexivity or humility whatsoever. Arde wrote, "You will likely know from your literature reviews, not from experience, that the academy is a hostile place for black scholars. There are very few of us that become professors, etc." He said, "Instead of spending your time trying to dismantle racism and ableism, you've spent what I assume is hours combing through my work looking for mistakes." And Arde ended this email with a warning. "Anything further from you will be considered."
No, I'm not natural stupid. That's why I'm like twice the size I was before.
Considered bullying and harassment, which from a legal standpoint, in my view, it is not, because it is just an email pointing out some errors and asking for comments. That is standard academic practice. Nonetheless, Harris did reply, but he prefaced the remarks in the reply with an expression of admiration for Arde as someone who's overcome considerable personal and professional adversity, before returning to the academic issues and correcting what he regarded as an inaccurate and damaging account of his own disciplinary history. So what followed is then public record. Arde went to the police. He lodged a complaint of harassment against Harris. And because Harris was based in Plymouth, it was referred to Devon and Cornwall Police, who declined to pursue it. So back to this article, and let's look at what all the fuss is about. So Nathan Kofnas said he ran Arde's 2015 PhD dissertation through plagiarism detection software, which is called CopyLeaks. What it does is you upload their work to this, and it searches through any other work that's been submitted, it references it, and tells you which bits are either verbatim the same, word for word the same, or paraphrased or with minor alterations, because making minor alterations doesn't trick the software. It is very good at doing this. I've been an examiner at a law school, and I've seen the way that this software spits out work and says, this is, 80% the same as someone else's work. Now, that might be excusable if you're simply referencing stuff and you've shown where it came from. But when it's supposed to be your own work, you would expect that, the minimum amount, a few percent would be the same as someone else's work, and then you would expect it to have been cited. So indicating the source of the original author. So there is, and I'm not going to go through them all, but there is a whole list on this page. You can see here, if I scroll down, you can see a whole list of these comparisons, and it shows you side by side. So let's just look at one or two of them together. Now, Arde's work is on the left-hand side, and Zwozdiak Myers is on the right-hand side. So yellow bits are identical, and the green bits have been slightly changed. And so taking just the opening line here from Zwozdiak here, although student teachers on one course in very large measure experience a common program, how they engage and learn, was changed very slightly to use the word may in a very large measure. And then the next bit in the Zwozdiak, where it says from each component will be very different, and then that was changed to will vary dependent upon how they interpret what needs to be learned. And then, you get the point. You can see each of these bits where they have been changed slightly, and they're either verbatim copying or they've been paraphrased and very slightly edited. Now, amazingly, which I'll demonstrate in a moment, Nathan says that from
Crin prolapse, Tony Tillers, watch 30 seconds in until 3-ish minutes in. Why are Noble Natties obsessed with juicers? Half their content is digs at steroid users. Meanwhile, ped content creators don't give a rat's ass about what Natty.
Why don't most fitness
Natty camper doing? They're gay, jealous retards. That's really all there is to it. Why most fitness influencers don't share their real training.
They don't know the nuances. They don't know how to get over plateaus, particularly if they started taking gear really, really early. They never had to get over a plateau. And if they did, they just...
Yeah, that's just complete and utter nonsense. Steroids make you more anabolically sensitive, but you can't infinitely increase your fucking steroid doses. So the same training principles that apply to natties applies to steroid users. I would say the only big difference with using steroids is if you're injured and you have to reduce the amount of weight you're using, just because you're so anabolically sensitive, those training sessions are still productive. So I've hurt my right bicep a while ago. I've mostly been doing really lightweight pump work for biceps. My arms are still able to grow, just because it's an adequate amount of tension, volume, and again, the steroids are making me anabolically sensitive enough where they're still growing. They're not growing as well as they otherwise would if I was, able to train with the same kind of weights I was using, but you'll still grow. So yeah, the kind of how would I put this? You may be able to get away with I guess less overall effort, or like training doesn't have to be quite as perfect, but again, the same training principles apply. You're not like, you are eventually at some point going to reach a plateau, and steroids alone won't just fix that. What the fuck are you doing?
Sort of blasted more.
Battle speed, Hortator. Battle speed! Attack speed. Ramming speed. Ramming speed!
You'll see this very consistently. Dudes who are like 165 pounds who hop on trend because they can't figure out how to get past a plateau. They're either like, I don't know, Jason Blaha, where they have the shittiest fucking genetics imaginable, or they just don't train hard and they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Look at these Bethesda developers. These are the people that made Starfield. Those accusations about Blizzard employees doing cubicle crawls and stealing breast milk was revealed to be unproven in California document.
I'll look at that in a second. Thanks, Q. So, yeah, the dudes that you see running Tren who can't figure out how to get past a plateau, who are like 165 pounds. Like again, they either have the shittiest fucking genetics imaginable, or they just don't train hard, and they don't know how to train, and these people never get big anyway. Like why is this guy fucking like using this as an example? Oh, fitness influencers won't show you their real training because they rely on steroids, but then he makes a joke about 165-pound dudes who can't progress running Tren. Well, doesn't that defeat your own argument that you can't rely on fucking steroids to grow, you idiot? like that makes no sense.
We found the mother lode. We got an actual hammer and sickle tattoo on his fucking neck.
Okay, the Xbox layoffs might make a lot more sense than we previously realized.
Holy shit.
Been a huge shock to us.
I'm here as a Rockville City Council member.
Yikes. You should probably be working at Bethesda so they can lay you off too.
Why is she dressed like Cruella DeVille?
And a gamer, and a wife of a gamer, and a mom of a gamer.
Xbox, which is owned by Microsoft.
Just look at the soy, how they walk.
Yeah, it's like all beta males and a surprising amount of fucking women. That's kind of an unusual job for women.
These are the same people that go to the gaming says, I may have...
So this is why Xbox did the layoffs. Yeah, they were literally just cleaning house of all the gay retards. That's what it was. I wouldn't have figured, but that makes a lot more sense now looking at that Halo 1 remake, because they added in that fucking those gay couple missions where there's that like weird masculine girl boss character who like acted like she's bigger and badder than Master Chief and was basically ordering him around the whole time. There's also a fucking starship in that game called Triumph of Tolerance. Like, yikes. So yeah, they knew they had a fucking problem with their development teams, and they're clearing house to get rid of these gay retards. And I'm assuming they're probably just going to hire a bunch of normal fucking dudes from here on out.
Been more empathetic to their flight, but no.
You know what? This might also explain the lack of productivity within the Xbox brand. Because these people don't want to work and they're lazy as shit. So they're probably showing up to work, not doing anything, collecting a paycheck. So that's why there's like one exclusive game for fucking Xbox that ever came out. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
They have no idea how to train. For them, as long as they go in and they move the steroid.
Did you also reach a lower body fat percent that you otherwise could have, Natty?
What do you mean by that question? Like, I could in theory reach whatever body fat I want naturally. It's just that you're gonna end up losing more muscle. And you're gonna feel like shit. I've dieted for a competition before naturally. It's like one of the most horrendous things you can ever experience. I had a severe ED, literally could not get an erection, and I had some of the most severe depression and agitation I've ever had in my fucking life. So dieting like super lean as a natural is just fucking stupid. You might look good, but you literally cannot have sex with women. So what's the point? Thanks, Pablo.
Steroid-infused blood to their genetically gifted muscles, they're going to grow. And this is where you might hear some IFBB pros say some kind of ridiculous and seemingly out-of-touch stuff like, oh, diet is the most important thing, or it's the hardest thing. Well, yeah, if you...
Yeah, buddy, these huge, massive pros are like 300 pounds at like 10% body fat. No shit. Like, it's not uncommon for these dudes to be eating over 6,000 fucking calories a day. That would be the hardest fucking thing. And not only that, the steroids themselves that they're taking also affects their digestion. So, they're taking drugs that can negatively impact digestion while also having to eat an absurd, ridiculous amount of fucking food that no normal fucking human being on the planet can eat. Yeah, eating that much food is the most difficult fucking thing for them. This guy has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Like, Ronnie Coleman was talking about how he had to eat an absurd amount of food in order to get past a plateau. He talked to a really experienced dietitian. The dietitian found out that he needed to eat something like, I think it was at least 7,000 calories a day and about 600 grams of protein. That's what he calculated for the body weight that he wanted to achieve. Ronnie had to fucking wake up in the middle of the night in order to fit in all his meals. And he said, like, going from, like 5,000 calories a day to like nearly fucking 8,000 and eating that much protein, it was the hardest thing he's ever done. Like, I don't know why you'd think they'd be lying about that. Like, do you see what Ronnie Coleman fucking looks like? This guy's an absolute fucking idiot. Like, and again, he's never taken fucking steroids in his life. He's never been 300 fucking pounds. So how the fuck would he know? Like, this guy has he even benched 315 in his life? Like, I mean, he's talking about, how fucking gear users don't know how to train. I literally don't think he's ever benched more than 315 in his entire fucking life. And then he's saying gear users are lying and don't know how to train. Like, this is the most absurd shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
"27 years old. Lifting 10 years 650 test, 160 free test. Thinking about going on low dose test. But knowing it will be a lifelong treatment once I start is my only thing against it. Thoughts?"
You can stop if you don't like it, and in all likelihood, your test levels will return to normal. So, yeah, I would go into it assuming it's a lifelong commitment, but generally speaking, no. Once you cease testosterone treatment, your test levels go back to normal. Connor Sinan, he made a video about this. He was blasting steroids, and he ended up getting arrested in Japan for a stupid reason. He accidentally kept cocaine in his pocket from a party. He ended up going to Japan. Airport security found it, and I think he was locked up in Japan for, I think, 2 months. Once he got back to the States, he tested his testosterone, and it was over 700, which is exactly where it was before he hopped on gear. So if you're like, if you're a young, healthy person, and especially if you haven't used steroids for that long, in all likelihood, it's not really going to affect you if you come off. So if you take steroids for a few months, you figure you don't like it for whatever reason, you can just come off, and probably after a month or two, your levels will go back to normal. That's usually the case for vast majority of people. I would almost guarantee you're like, at least if you have a good experience and you design a cycle appropriately, you're not going to want to come off. I always recommend start at 140 milligrams test per week, split into daily injections. So for 20 milligrams per day. Start from there. You're probably not going to over aromatize. You're probably not going to have issues with nipple sensitivity, blood pressure, anything like that. Just stick at that dose for at least a month, ideally 2 months. And then if everything's good, you don't have any issues, go up to 210, so 30 milligrams. See how that goes. And then, just kind of go from there. I started off at 210 milligrams. I gained 20 pounds of muscle in the first 2 months. That dose was a little too high at first. I did have like nipple sensitivity, and I had to take an AI for a couple days, but then my body adjusted pretty quickly. Your body needs to get used to exogenous hormones. So your glands are going to be especially sensitive, and you just need to give your body time to adapt. But yeah, I haven't had any negative experiences with any steroid. The only problem that I actually had was with growth hormone. It lowered my T4 thyroid. Growth hormone increases conversion of T4 to T3, and my T4 ended up being low, and I ended up having a weird side effect where it caused extreme water retention. I was dealing with that for, I think, almost 2 months. Yeah, it was like about a month and a half. And then once I figured out it was just low T4, I just took Synthroid, and that cleared it up. And since then, I haven't had any problems. I've even been on Tren for the last little over a month, like month and 1 week. Tren, I literally feel healthier on Tren. My mood's better. I sleep better. I'm actually more calm. Contrary to what people say about Tren making you a fucking crazy raging lunatic and you can't sleep. My mood improved on Tren. And my cardiovascular performance is better too. I've had absolutely no issues so far. Doesn't mean it's healthy for you, Tren. Like, it may be doing other things to my body which aren't great. But yeah, as far as like noticeable side effects that like negatively impact me, I've never had a single issue with any steroid I've taken. But thanks, Essex. Hope it helps.
If you have top 0.01% genetics and you're on a lot of gear, a lot of your progress just hinges on eating enough food. And then when you go into the gym, just kind of like move around a little bit. But for that,
you're not gonna see any fucking huge ass bodybuilders who are like 300 fucking pounds who don't train hard. You're just not. The only person that I've heard of who is like that was Victor Richards. What's his name? Was it Jeremy Pollock or Larry Pollock?
But no more. All I want to know
is if... is that? Yeah, Larry Pollock is an OG in the bodybuilding and steroid scene. He used to train with and live with Mike Menser. And he ran into Victor Richards at the gym before. So he'd regularly see Victor Richards at the gym, this guy. He actually never competed in bodybuilding because he's like some fucked up, weird, insecure weirdo. He'd come up with like just bizarre excuses to never compete. I don't know why. But this guy was absolutely massive. You can look up photos of Victor Richards when he was a teenager before he ever hopped on gear. This guy already looked like he was on steroids before he was on steroids. One of the most genetically gifted individuals on the fucking planet. According to Larry Pollock, whenever he'd see Victor Richards in the gym, this guy would do like jack shit training. He'd do like a set of triceps, talk to somebody for 30 minutes, and then like, you know, maybe do a bicep exercise, talk to somebody for 30 minutes. And then he was like out of the gym. That's according to Larry. Again, who knows what the majority of his training looked like, but yeah, so like this is the only person I've ever heard of where dudes who knew him, who were at the gym, would watch him train and they'd say he was not training hard, but he was like this massive, huge fucking dude. But again, that's just Larry who said that. I don't know what the guy, who knows what the guy actually trained like, but show me any of the fucking top pros right now who are huge, jacked, and aren't training hard. Like, you can't.
The details of training just don't really matter. And either they know this, and so they don't care, and they don't share what they don't.
Dude, this is just pure cope. Oh, the only reason they're bigger and stronger than me is because of genetics and steroids. I actually outwork them. Sure you do, buddy.
Care about, or they do know this, and their training is so bad that it is embarrassing, and they
Again, this is the guy who can't bench 315.
know that their audience is not really going to be getting anything out of it, and so they don't share. I don't really know which is worse, but this is a lot more common than a lot of people realize. Some people have incredibly ridiculous physiques, but their training knowledge is nowhere near comparable.
You don't need that much training knowledge if you work hard. So, like, guess what? You don't need to know anything about progressive overload and how to perform an exercise with perfect technique and all this other shit. If you do exercises well enough and you work hard, and yeah, a combination of good genes and drugs, like, yeah, that'll take you pretty far. I know natural lifters personally who don't know shit about fucking training. I had a buddy where I'd ask him, like, training questions, like how he plans out his programs. He had no fucking idea. He just goes to the gym and just lifts weights for like 3 hours. He's a natural. He looked like he was on steroids, but he was a fucking natural. I think his best bench was like 450. He used to do powerlifting. There's just people like that who just never bothered to need to learn because they just didn't have to. They just worked hard and they had a combination of good genes, so they never had to learn how to train.
And they can't give you their genetics. They can't give you... Oh, I guess nowadays a lot of them, they do share their cycle and they link in the bio. This is my... You're probably not going to get the same results anyway, but I guess a lot of people are no longer sharing training knowledge. They're sharing the drug knowledge instead, which...
Nobody really does that. Like, people will ask me about what I'm taking, and I always preface it with, like, don't do what I'm doing. Like, you can't just hop on the same amount of steroids I'm on and then expect to get the same results. Like, I always tell them, start off with just test 140 milligrams a week and then just slowly build up from there. Like again, you'll never see top pros like Wesley Vissers, or anybody who, like, there's a bunch of pros who do podcasts and talk about their cycles and shit. Martin Fitzwater, he's another. You'll never see any of them recommend, oh, this is my cycle, this is what you got to do to get big. Like, anybody who knows anything about steroids, like, they know how to take them. They're not going around saying, this is my cycle, copy it. It doesn't work that way.
That's a whole host of other issues right there. And there's this old phrase, better to remain silent and be thought a fool then open your mouth and remove all doubt. That is what happens often when you see someone train. There were guys where I was kind of on the fence. I wasn't really sure. Are they actually knowledgeable? Do they know? And then you see them train, and you're like, oh, okay, no, like, they're just lucky. They got in really good with the genetic side of things, and they're on PEDs. That is what is driving their progress. And so they don't actually provide a lot of value to their audience, and the smart ones stick to just selfies and inspirational quotes, because that's really all they provide. And social media isn't really social media for a lot of
I mean, like, good genetics or not, like, you have to be doing something right if you get big and strong. So, like, there has to be a hard work component, at least. You have to at least be doing the exercises well enough in order to get a stimulus. You have to have consistency. So, like again, show me anybody who's, like, fucking turbo-jacked who literally has no fucking clue what they're doing. Like, literally no clue. Like, who's an example of somebody who's just a complete fucking dipshit who doesn't know fuck all about training? Like, we're talking below Blaha levels of training knowledge. Who's that retarded skinny dork kid who is on, like, MK677, who, like, dates OnlyFans models who take advantage of him? Does anybody know that guy? What's his fucking name? Like, I've never seen anybody who looks like Mike O'Hearn train like that kid. You know? So, like, what is he talking about?
these types of accounts, but if you ask them why they're doing something, why this...
Frank Tufano. Yeah, why didn't that come to mind? I've never seen anybody who looks like Mike O'Hearn who trains like Frank Tufano. Like he's literally imagining a person in his fucking head. And it's like, give a fucking example, buddy.
This many reps, why this many sets, why this exercise, why this type of technique. Often they just can't, they haven't really given it a lot of thought, right? It's just maybe instinctive is the most charitable way to put it, or just not having a clue. Number two, training, especially when you're quite advanced, is very, very individual. I know some advanced lifters where their volume went down significantly just because the weights they were lifting were very strenuous and taxing on the joints, on the central nervous system, on the mind, right? Like doing 5 or 6 plate RDLs. You're not going to be able to do as many sets of that as when you were smaller. On the other hand, I know some advanced lifters where their volume kind of just went up and up and up. So it could go either way. And this is where it is very individual. And this is where you get people just copying your program. I used to put out my exercises and how many sets I did.
Honestly, Eric Helms, like, I don't know why I'd give Eric Helms as an example. No shit, his volumes, like, increased over time. He wasn't growing. He's small. He's not particularly strong. So, like, when you're out of all other options, yeah, do more to see if that helps. And I guess that worked for him, but, like, the guy's small and not particularly strong. You can just look at him. And also, like, I mean, how long has Eric Helms been fucking training for? Like, bro, this is what the guy looks like. And this guy has been weight training for, like, decades? Like, he's kind of an older dude at this point. Like, he's been lifting for a fucking long time. And, like, this is, like, yeah, this is what the guy fucking looks like as an advanced trainee. Like, I'm not going to say he has a bad physique when he gets, like, lean and shredded and shit for a show. But, like, after several decades of training and you've just been stagnant for so fucking long, why have you not hopped on gear? It's just... And, like, again, this is peak, I feel like shit, I cannot get an erection, I want to kill myself. because I'm natural and that's the only way to get this lean as a natural. And then like when he just can't handle it anymore, he just looks like a normal fucking dude. Like this is him. Like literally normal fucking dude walking around where he feels comfortable as a natural with like a reasonable body fat. And it's just weird to me. You're so into training and fitness, and this is the best you can fucking do. Like, as a natural, like, why the fuck hasn't this guy hopped on fucking gear? It's just so weird to me. So, like, yeah, when he's fucking ripped, like, he looks like anybody would look good when they're fucking ripped, but, like, he's small as shit. Like, look at his fucking shoulders and neck. Like, just, he's small. So, like, this is what you fucking work for, like, decades? And then, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, if he looked like, Jeffrey, like, Jeffrey looks great for a natural. I can understand somebody like Jeffrey not being particularly motivated to take steroids because he already looks great. Like, he's mogging everybody in the gym. But yeah, if you're like Eric Helms, where nobody can even tell you fucking work out when you're like at a reasonable body fat percentage that you can sustain, it's like, what are you doing?
It could go either way. And this is where it is very individual. And this is where you get people just copying your program. I used to put out my exercises and how many sets I did just sort of on Instagram, on a story, just to log it, really. And I would get people saying like, oh, thanks for the upper body workout. That's not, that's, I mean, it might work, but it's not individualized to you. It's not customized to you. And that's not really the point of putting out that information. But for a lot of people, they will just blindly copy something. And so when it comes to exercise selection, the technique, the rep range, the loading, the number of sets, the volume, the weekly structure, hypertrophy is such a broad general adaptation, and you can do it in many different ways, that on an advanced level, you will see some really weird shit. And often it's actually what works well for them. It's just when you have many different attributes and they're all on a bell curve, there are going to be people where they are on the end of a bell curve on several different systems. And so some people, they do really well in high frequency, but lower volume, or the opposite. And so you can't just copy that and expect to get the same results. That's not really how it works. You kind of open the door for criticism. And in some ways, that is a good thing. Jonathan Warren criticized some of my training from several years ago, and I was far enough removed from that in terms of time that my ego was no longer attached to that. And he's 100% right, and I've benefited a lot from his advice. On the other hand, it can also be bad where someone says, oh, you're not doing something according to this model of hypertrophy. Why are you doing more than 5 to 6 reps with 1 rep in reserve? Look at all the calcium ions. Why would you ever do that? You're an idiot. Or, oh, look at this training. It's a sign you're on PEDs because it doesn't align with how I think things should go. And it's hard to sometimes sort those out into useful and not useful feedback. And I think a lot of people just give up. A lot of people in the fitness industry, maybe they initially post their training and they suddenly realize it's just not really worth the hassle. And so they stop because it's kind of a thankless task that doesn't really bring you a lot of direct and tangible benefit. Leading into number 3, the reality is training, especially when you're more advanced, is a little bit boring and monotonous and repetitive. It is the trial of miles. It's just doing the same or very, very similar thing. Interesting in a lot of cases. Furthermore, when you're more advanced, lack of progress is kind of just the norm. If you're an advanced natural lifter and you've been doing things really, really well for a decade, you are most likely down to that 1 to 2.
I see people say all the time, swapping this exercise blew my arms up, but how can you know it was the exercise change, not just being consistent would have worked with the original exercise? because of the time frame. You don't just like again, there's no rational reason to think, okay, I was doing like this bicep exercise, but then I switched to this bicep exercise. Suddenly my arms grew at a much more rapid pace than they had before. Oh, well, why do you like there's no rational reason to think, oh, well, it was just consistency, because if consistency was the thing, you would have already had that rapid growth. You would expect that if you have the exercise change and then immediately afterwards your arms blew up, it's just a logical inference to assume, yeah, it was the exercise change.
Maybe 3 pounds of muscle a year type of range. 3 pounds would be an incredible year, actually. For a lot of people, based on what they've been told in like Men's Health, fitness magazines, this celebrity guy.
Yeah, build 3 pounds as a natural versus 30 pounds on steroids. What would I choose?
I put on 50 pounds for an acting role in 2 months or some shit. Totally naturally, obviously. And suddenly it seems like you don't know what you're doing because your progress is so slow. But often that's just the best you can do. By the way, this video is sponsored by people should be making much faster progress than that because most people are not advanced. And so you get people where they say, oh, like, I put on 3 pounds of muscle in a year. Yeah, you should probably more like be like 10 to 20. Number 4, liftflation and physique inflation, both very, very real things. And I've gotten questions from aspiring content creators who feel like they're not big enough to create content or they're not strong enough to create content. And my advice is just get started. At the very least, it'll be the opposite way around.
Okay, dumb video.
Literally the first paragraph of the introduction to his dissertation on page 17, Ade relies heavily.
Oh. Did that not? Wait. Is Streamlabs just being fucking stupid again? Yeah, Streamlabs was being stupid.
Yo, Unc, is he spitting facts?
Let me see. Yeah, I didn't realize Streamlabs automatically paused my donations, so I didn't notice I got a dono, sorry.
Of TRT is usually where men start realizing how much low test was affecting their quality of life. This is what the first 4 months feel like. Month 1, the changes are subtle at first, but you have more consistent baseline of energy and you have less brain fog and better motivation. You don't see changes in...
I literally saw visual improvements in the mirror after like 2 days, and 30 minutes post-injection, I could already feel... Like, after 30 minutes of the first injection, I already felt a difference.
Mirror yet, but it does feel like the lights are slowly turning back on. Month 2 is when you start noticing the effects more in the gym and in your daily life. This is where...
Yeah, dude, like, literally the first week, you could tell, like, I was on something. I started blowing up immediately.
You feel like you're returning to the version of yourself that you were supposed to be. Better training performance, faster recovery, stronger libido, and better stress tolerance. Month 3, physical changes are more visible. You gained muscle, got leaner, better nutrient partitioning, and confidence is just through the roof. Month 4 is when you really feel like your new self. Welcome to the better life. At this point, it becomes very hard to going back to being average because the real value of having high testosterone becomes so obvious. Significantly better physique, insane mental sharpness, maxed out aura, and confidence. You just feel like a god. The first 4 months of
Yeah, that's accurate. I experienced those benefits way sooner though. Like again, 30 minutes after the first injection, I could already feel, you know, something was happening. I just felt better, already felt like a little bit stronger, and then like by day 3, it was really obvious. The first thing that was extremely apparent was I had increased cardiovascular performance. It was actually surprising just how much testosterone improved my cardio. And also, like, yeah, confidence, mental alertness, like that kind of dopaminergic drive where you're very motivated, and like I just morphed pretty much instantly. Thanks, Richards, 29 G syringe. I use 30 G syringe, but yeah.
Heavily on Wozniak Myers for key ideas and arguments, and then many passages are lifted with minimal editing, sometimes retaining copy editing mistakes. So let's briefly compare the opening. This is the thesis of Paula Wozniak Myers. The opening is thus.
I don't give a fuck about your dumb baby console and you not being able to buy one of the shiny, stupid little discs you like. That's my thoughts on Sony going disc-free.
As they embark upon a program of study in initial teacher education, student teachers do so with the expectation that by the time they complete their course, they'll be suitably equipped with the knowledge, skills, and understanding required to enter the profession as newly qualified teachers. So let's highlight that bit and we'll move it down and compare. So let's move that bit down. So this is borrowing the idea, in my personal opinion, rather than actual copying. So the bottom one is Paula Wozniak Myers. The top one is now our days. So looking at our days, beginning on this second line at the end here, it says, in the case of student teachers being initiated into the teacher profession, they do so with the expectation that upon completion of their initial teacher training, they'll be professionally and suitably equipped with the skills and knowledge required to enter the teaching profession as a newly qualified teacher. And so in my view, that is very similar wording. So as Nathan Kofnas put it, borrowing the ideas from this manuscript here. But then he goes on to say that various bits are lifted and copied verbatim or with minimal editing. And so taking just the very first allegation here, the one beginning with the word although at the top of this chart here, bearing in mind there are a whole list of these as we go through, I'll just give you an example of this first one and show you why Nathan Kofnas has raised these concerns. So if we move that aside, you can see the overlap comparison here. Again, the top one is Jason Arday's thesis, and the bottom one is that of Paula Wozniak Myers. So you can see in this large paragraph here, beginning with the words, the stimulus, ending in learning, there's no citation, no quotation or anything here. But the bit highlighted is the bit referenced on this blog article. And so it begins. Although student teachers on one course may experience a common program, how they engage and learn, etc., you can see at the bottom is Paula Wozniak Myers' thesis, and you can see where this appears to have been taken from. Because as you can see, this is the same highlighted text. And so now, without any quotation, citation from Arday in that paragraph here, and even this one down below, this is not quoting Paula Wozniak Myers here, this paragraph stands alone. So when we bring this back into play here, you can see that just very few bits of it have been changed. And yet it appears here, and even right from the very introduction, it appears as though it's his own work. And there are many more of them. As you can see, a whole list of them on Nathan Kofnas' blog there. And so for anybody that says that there is no basis for these allegations of plagiarism, I would urge you to download both of these theses. You can find them online. You just, in fact, they are linked from this blog here. You can download July 2015 from Arday, and then we go back to the top for this from Paula Wozniak Myers. This was 2009. And so in my view, there is a clear basis for someone to suspect that Jason Arday has taken parts of that thesis and put it into his own as though it's his own work. And so I do think that this needs to be looked at, again, by the university. But let's have a look at what the university has actually said and what the response to these allegations has been. So starting first of all with Cambridge and their response, they provided a statement on Monday to say that the university takes allegations of plagiarism extremely seriously, noting that the standard practice is to refer issues to the institutions where the research was carried out. They said, we've either advised complainants to approach the relevant institution or passed on complaints. And the statement said allegations of plagiarism regarding Professor Arday's thesis and some of his journal publications have been investigated by Liverpool John Moores University and the journals in question. And in its statement, Liverpool John Moores University said that it received allegations of academic misconduct against Arday in September 2025. They said a confidential procedure was conducted in response to those allegations and Professor Arday's PhD still stands. But some scholars who have independently examined the research and citations said that they are seeking to uphold academic standards and that the investigations and corrections so far have not been adequate. However, going back to these two theses side by side, or one atop the other, Arday's being at the top, I respectfully but fairly strongly suggest that Liverpool John Moores University go back and take another look. Because to me, as someone who holds an LLB and a master's, I would be quite annoyed if somebody lifted some of my work and dropped it into theirs without proper citation, as it appears to me that has happened here. Because these two paragraphs are almost identical, but there is no citation of Paula Wozniak Myers' work in.
Yeah, this is literally identical. They're like, this is obvious, blatant plagiarism.
This thesis of Arday. As you can see in this comparison, they are virtually identical, but for the green bits that have been.
Is recovery better when you train in the morning or train at night and go to sleep right after? I don't think it makes a difference.
Slightly altered. And so let's take another one, shall we, and compare that. So let's scroll down to another one and take this one here. The one beginning, an issue which has arisen from Dewey's conceptualization of reflective action and its subsequent interpretation within initial teacher education concerns. This couldn't possibly just randomly happen in two separate pieces. by chance. It's just not possible. And yet in this table here, you can see that they are virtually identical. So again, let's find those in that script. So here you can see...
Yeah, this gay retarded professor who teaches bullshit, this guy is an insane wacko fucking narcissist liar. Like, it just shows you these universities are a complete fucking joke. Like, they'll put you in tens of thousands of dollars of student debt, and they hire people like that. Like, it's just a clown show. One, UK now even arresting animal rights activists. That's nothing new. Over an online post.
We Sussex Police have received a report from a different force, saying that they've received a complaint from a member of the public or a business, saying that they believe some false allegations have been made online about them.
They're saying that I posted something about disposing of so many beagles.
Yes.
35 stone of dead beagles were treated as frozen waste and driven to an incinerator in Ipswich to be burned. If they're just breeding dogs, why is there so much animal anatomical waste coming from this place?
And they're saying that that information passed on your platform could lead to, have a harmful impact on their business.
Why are the police intervening like this? This is a civil matter. Like, it's just retard. Like, the UK is the dumbest place on earth.
Rather frightening.
Like, by the way, why are these people even talking to the police? Like, don't open your door. Just tell them to fuck off.
That a company...
Like, look at this faggot little bitch beta male and this, like, other dumb cunt. It's like as if I even want to fucking talk to you about anything. Like, get the fuck off my doorstep, pussy.
Can make a complaint about somebody like me and have 2 police officers turn up on my doorstep like that.
So they've asked us to just come and have a chat with you today and see whether or not you would accept what we call community resolution.
What is that?
Like, what is this? Like, this is just so baffling to me. Like somebody can just complain about something you said that you thought was annoying and they can get the police on your ass? I'm still confused why British people even open the door for cops. Just tell them to fuck off. If they want to file charges, then file charges, but I'm not talking to you.
So all it is, it's a piece of paper here, and it's got some conditions on it, essentially.
Yeah, take the paper, spit on it, and throw it back at them.
And all it is if you were to agree to the conditions, which we can go through, you would sign it, and then it would just go on record to say that you've agreed those conditions and moving forward, basically.
Yeah, but
and
what is it?
else.
What do you mean, what conditions, though?
The agreed remedies would be to complete an online thinking skills course, and the second one is to complete an online impact. That's up to you.
Like, this is not a country. This is just so absurd. I didn't even know this was a thing. It's like life is permanently elementary school. Like this is something I had to do when I was in like the fucking 6th grade, where my teacher was upset that I like called another kid a retard. And then he tried to make me like write some fucking thing out why it's wrong to make fun of people. Like this is what this is. It's like the government treats you like you're permanently in the fucking 6th grade.
You to have a little look at, and
Okay, sure.
all the details of the investigating unit.
Like the most baffling thing about all of this is why they even open the door for the cops anyway. If cops knock on my door and I didn't call them, I just tell them to fuck off. Simple as that. Why do they even talk to the police? Just tell them to eat shit. Really weird. Like, British people are clearly way too fucking polite. Thanks, one.
And I'm taking you with me. Come on. Video. So if you'd like to see that, subscribe. It'll be coming out, but it's sick. I'm not saying these aren't sweet. I hope they retrofit, I'm assuming, to all of Rep's racks. But this stuff is moving so fast right now in innovation. You got to release stuff. Rogues doesn't work on Rep racks. They now have their own. In my opinion, this is the best air bike currently made. This is one I have in my basement. They do have their new Strive version of the Runner. This is one that people were really excited about. I use this at HFA.
I actually want to get that treadmill.
We have one on the way that we're going to do a full review of, but the ability to have the resistance on it very quickly.
Yeah, I'd really love to do sled pushes on that treadmill.
To go all the way from walking or running down to a sled mode, that is extremely hard.
Sick.
I'm excited to get this in to compare it to others that are out there.
Yeah, you've got like your at-home Conan wheel.
But having the ability to sled in your home gym without taking a sled out to the road, it's really nice.
Yeah,
so
that is
if you'd like to see that, subscribe because it's forthcoming. Okay, let's go to the next place. We are here in Fringe Sport land with these jerseys are sick. Thank you. I would really like those jerseys. Head of product, head of media, and we're going to walk through some of their equipment.
Slim Jim was launched a couple of months ago now in one of its possible configurations.
You have another one that's
Fenrir.
Not separate, right?
Yes, the Fenrir, more traditional setup.
Fenrir, it's a weird name. This mask is somewhat uncomfortable.
We wanted to bring it, but everyone bought it already. So
nice.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good problem to have. And this was like one of the last ones as well.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the possible configuration obviously can be set up together with a center upright instead of two, using one shared one, and then it's the same width as a regular squat rack.
Okay.
Pull-up bar extra is an extra, the front feet, also for some extra stability if you want to squat off of it and so on.
Sweet.
And yeah, 2 to.
This feels more comfortable than when I put it on the first time, so I think it might have to be broken in. It's just the white part is like stiff. I think once it gets broken in a bit, it'll be better. Really presses on my nose. That wasn't the issue. Really needs, I need something like give support to my nose. Really pushes my nose in. Yeah.
2-1 ratio.
This one bolts to a wall.
Yes.
And the idea is it allows you
You've
to
got the brackets
park
over
in your
here.
garage if you want.
Correct. And when bolted to the wall, it only sticks out around 5 inches off of it.
You do not need the front feet if it's on the wall?
For the functional trainer bit, no.
Okay.
We recommend if you want to lift off of it, just because
the cantilever.
The J-cups included are these, just to get some space.
Yep.
So if you're squatting, I don't know, 200-300 pounds, let's just say, which is around the maximum weight we recommend, even with the front feet.
Oh, okay.
Just in case the studs aren't in great shape.
That's definitely enough for Tim, but for me.
The new things. That's the Cloverfield cable tower with the Gatlin lat seat. So
Gatlin, I love it. Those
the reason why you call
I'd really like a lat pull down machine. I gotta get something like that.
it a Gatlin is that's how you hold it.
Oh, nice.
So it kind of looks like yeah.
That's sick. I love the just touch of cool. You know, it's like this didn't need to be. Is this stainless or aluminum?
This is stainless.
Okay.
So
magnetic.
Yeah. So the original idea was to use it as just a row foot plate.
Yep.
But it's not actually as useful as it is for a row foot plate on this specific machine because
with the hook, that's nice. You're trying. You didn't, did we? Specifically the Voltra.
A couple of new things, electronic digital resistance.
Okay, so this is from Vesta Fitness. They have these hidden, but underneath this is their variable force system. The idea on this, like this rack itself, it's cool. It's got a lot going on, but there's nothing crazy unique. There's a lot of people with these arms. But what is unique is this, which allows you to change the resistance profile, or actually it allows you to change the ratio of the pulleys from 1 to half. So basically you're halving the load. You're going from like a 2-to-1 to a 4-to-1. So here, if I go out, I've got the stack on 40.
I hate these angled Smith machines. I don't know why that ever became a thing.
And that's 40 pounds. It's probably, let's see how far that travels. That's 1-to-1. So they're going from 1-to-1 to 2-to-1. This is sick. All right, now watch. If I turn this, I'm now on a 2-to-1. So way more travel and the weight is halved. And then if I want to, take a look. This is a new Prodigy rack. First time, never before seen, that on the back here has a similar function. So this is a floating pulley. You pull this out and then you can place the pin in here when you're not in use. Now, if you keep your eye on that, if you want to put the camera on that, as I pull this, that pulley now floats up. So that's halving the weight. And then if I want to increase the weight, put that in there, and now it's gonna lock in and the weight is double. Now your travel is less, but the reason that matters is because if you're doing lat pull downs, you wanna maximize the amount of stack, but if you're doing things like cable flies, sometimes you wanna get further out, especially if you're using something like their stability pad. So this allows you to do that. Now, this rack also has their new arms. So these arms are primified. I mean, of all the arms that are out there on racks, honestly, these are some of the most stout. Not surprised, they're from Prime. They're making these in the USA. They're really well done, but these are fully articulating, both up and down, with a moon plate that does have laser cut numbers on it. It's also side to side adjustable all the way around on this nice stainless plate, and they are rock solid. I'm wondering if you have a previous Prodigy rack, if you'll be able to retrofit this, because this pulley is different than what's used on the Prodigy racks. I don't know if they'll offer it as a retrofit or you have to buy it all new, but this rack is sick. Another piece that they brought though, first ever seen, is they essentially made what I'm calling a compact extreme row. So this is a bent over road with a chest supported pad. If you notice, this is the same pad they're using from their support port pad there. Extreme row is one of the best.
How much protein for a natty wanting to maximize gains? 2 grams of protein per kg of body weight? More protein for cut?
You don't need to eat more protein when you're cutting. It doesn't make a difference. But yeah, roughly a gram per pound of body weight. It's fine. You're not really going to get much more benefit.
How much
from that.
protein for a natty wanting to maximize?
Yeah, you already don't need that. Yeah, so just a gram per pound, you know, roughly is just fine. And you don't need to eat more protein on a diet. Like when you're trying to lose weight, it doesn't make a difference. Thanks, CJ. Hope that answers your question.
Bent over rows you can buy, but it is massive. They've taken that platform and compacted it so you can do it standing instead of having a full bench. So this articulates both forward and back. This comes up and down, but then the angle of the pad also changes. So you can dial this in for whatever height you want, exactly where you want, but then the handles, just like the extreme row, also change angles. So you've got this where you can change the angles for pulling, whether wider out or closer in, and you can do it with a single
that feels
arm.
better. I think the mask just needed to be broken in.
This thing feels incredible, but the nice thing is you can vary it up quite a bit because you have this pad that changes so much, so you can hit different parts of the back, whether you're upper back or lower back. This piece is amazing. One thing that I took from one of their machines, I own the incline press bench. I took that out so I could shove in a utility bench and use it at different angles. I don't think they
I have not liked a single one of these plate-loaded chest press machines. They always feel like shit to me and hurt my shoulders.
took that idea from me. It's probably something they've been working on a while, but this now goes from an incline to a flat. So you have the same machine where you can do both on them. I still would like to be able to do a shoulder press.
Yeah, there's some Prime leg machines that look really good to me, but I absolutely hate these machines. I think for like upper body equipment, the only thing that I'm really interested in is like a lat pull down machine or just like a cable machine kind of thing. So like I can have more variations with like lateral raises or whatchamacall. Guess I could do some row variations, some fly variations, stuff like that. And a Smith machine. But yeah, I hate these. Especially the ones that converge. The machines that converge, they're super wide at the bottom. And they always just wreck my shoulder.
Press, so that's why I like having my utility bench that
more than that.
Yeah, they do a lot more. They've got a spring-loaded, basically spotter pin. It allows you, like on really high-end machines, it allows you to have a foot plate on a press to basically help offload. And this is just built in. So you lift this up, and then now it's here. Take the spring off, and then when you do the movement, it drops down. Pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I still hate these. They're fucking stupid.
And now I can press. Now these adjust and break down a lot of different ways.
Perfect. And I'm sure you know the guys over at Dialed Motion.
Yeah,
and that's what we're working with on this.
Okay.
So this is a mechanism that can be removed, and you just do a single regular cable.
Yeah.
Or you can attach the retractor piece.
Okay.
So I'm going to scoot this in a little closer, and then I'll let you give it a go.
Okay.
And then all you do is hit the switch on the bottom.
Yep.
And then start getting in position for your leg press.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
And then just grab the uprights and tuck yourself in. And then it engages.
Okay, that is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Wow. If I want to go deeper.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life, honestly.
Pull yourself closer.
Automatically retract?
Yeah, pull yourself closer. And you can move the bench closer too, so you can get even deeper than that.
Dang, okay. Let's go heavy. I want to
That is for fucking grandmothers.
see how it feels.
Do it, yeah. And again, that's still our 1-to-1 system, so everything you pin is exactly that weight on each side.
Like, that's literally not worth setting up. Like, that's the fundamental problem. You're... Like, the kind of difficulty involved with setting that up and everything, like, it's just such a pain in the ass. You might as well just get a leg press machine.
Dang, okay.
That
and
is
that's a new foot plate we came out with too,
dumb.
so we put a new wider, has that new...
Yeah, just get one of these or one of these. Like, why the fuck would you even bother?
That new layer on the top.
Like, that's not a cheap machine either, so, like, you can't say, oh, well, it saves money, like... If you can afford that, you can afford another leg press machine or something. That's just actually stupid.
Top of it, yeah. Still get your cap block. What I love about the new adjustment is it's a ladder system, so instead of using the pop pin,
yeah,
you can just grab this,
These machines I generally like.
drop it down to position, and you're ready to go. Sweet.
The problem with a lot of these ones for home gyms is they're angled at like a 30 or 35 degree angle, so they're like plate eaters. And they're not built strong enough where you can load them super heavy. If they made like a 40 or 45 degree one, I'd actually be motivated to buy one.
Sweet, right? Okay. And here's one I think you'll like. This is a prototype, but if you look down here,
yeah, Vulture mount?
Vulture mount.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool.
So we got some things that we're working on the back end that will adapt to a lot of our current systems, but you know, the idea is to keep adapting for our community. So
sweet. Cable.
Yeah. So the idea with this was...
The rack is light. We don't
Sorry.
have any
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
That could have been bad. Him, and he said he hasn't tried Rhino mode yet. So, okay.
Want to see him?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my mic down here. These are designed so you just don't hear anything.
All right.
Nanotechnology, straight from the aliens. I got version is like the drop zone pads, which you guys.
Yeah.
They're just no sound.
Yeah.
Like you can't get them in a home gym.
Oh man, I'd like something like that.
They take up so much space. So the ability to have a pullover at home, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It's smooth too.
Yeah, I'd like a pullover machine.
How you guys started, both your weight, your rack, your tree, but then on this side, do you mind coming around? Yeah.
So 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight? Lean like abs showing?
Yeah, roughly. Like, again, I don't know why you're bothering overthinking it. Like, who fucking cares? These things don't...
Do you think Gotis is more malicious or more retarded?
I think equal amounts retarded and malicious. He is as stupid as he is evil. Thanks, Andrew. Like again, these things aren't going to make that big of a fucking difference. Eating like 0.9 grams per pound of body weight is not going to make a substantive difference compared to eating a gram per pound. It's just not worth overthinking. So, like, again, if you're not a colossal fat ass and you're estimating that like 15-ish%, like I don't quite have abs, but like maybe if I lost 10 pounds and then you do the calculation, like it's good enough. Just like don't bother overthinking it. So again, just roughly 1 gram per pound, give or take. It doesn't really make a big deal. Thanks, UJ.
So these pull out.
They're on rug right now, so our flooring.
Oh, there you go.
You got it.
So they roll out pretty sweet, and then roll back in. And are those not a lot of innovation in that area? Yeah. Increments on a 1-inch rack, so basically giving you west side spacing. The other is a unique leg extension leg curl for a bench. So the idea behind these J-cups, 1-inch hole rack. What do you do for west side hole spacing? And you guys are fixing that, right?
Exactly.
Okay, talk me through it.
So yeah, you get 2-inch spacing on your normal 1-inch hole rack. To fix it, we've got our patent pending J-cups here with a 1-inch height adjustment. So we just got a magnetic pin.
Sweet.
You can adjust it up and down. We've got a standard.
That seems like something that doesn't really matter all that much, honestly.
Standard version and then a roller version here as well.
Oh, nice.
Going to choose bench attached or rack attached.
Okay.
That's going to give you the different adapters.
Yep.
So our bench attached is universal.
Okay.
So if you have a weight
heavy.
stack,
you don't have a lot of weight. Yeah.
And you can always add plates to this as well.
It's real smooth too.
These things are so weird. Like, it's just such a pain in the ass. Moving this fucking thing over to the cable, attaching the fucking cable, then putting weight over here, and then when you're done, like, you move this whole fucking thing out of the... Like, it's just so weird. And this shit isn't cheap either. Like, you can get a good leg extension leg curl machine for, like, the same fucking price. I just don't get this crap.
Setup.
Yep.
And then
Really strange.
Do you think you could beat Gotis in a primal fight?
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew.
And so what you do is you just lock it into place.
Morphed into these guys. So now you have the knurled aluminum. It's all one solid piece of aluminum.
So because of that, you could get that full clearance, and we have the ability to adjust the clearance on it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think for most people, these are a bad idea. Usually with, what do they call this crap again? Usually with those things that let you move the bar out and then, you know, you lift off, I see way more people getting injured using these things compared to just lifting off. And I think it's because they end up using weight that they couldn't otherwise handle, or they end up not getting properly situated. And they don't realize it because they didn't have to lift the weight out of the rack. And then I just see people snap their shit left and right, especially on squats. Dodo, let me see. What is this crap?
Well, the defining question is, does Israel engage in a genocide?
In Palestine? Well, according to the people that define those things, yes.
Okay, retard.
Okay, well, and I strongly disagree with that. By definition, that wasn't a genocide. The Jewish community actually experienced a true genocide for that. Now, if Israel's goal was to eliminate, as many Palestinians as possible, they could have accomplished that in a lot.
In literally a single day.
Long time ago.
Literally a
for
single
that.
day.
They were not engaging in a genocide.
Just because you're killing a group slowly doesn't mean you're not killing a group. Just
Yeah, they're killing Hamas. So
because you could do it faster.
No. That was.
Not only is the time frame completely and utterly like incoherent with the idea of a genocide. So again, Sudan, within about a week, roughly 50,000 people were fucking killed in just a single week. And that's in Sudan with rebel groups who literally only have like AK-47s, some old PKMs. They're riding around in like old Toyotas, and maybe they have like one T-63 fucking Russian tank. And that's in a single week. Israel has killed roughly that amount of civilians in 3 years. So if the idea is genocide and eradicating people, like that is just such an absurd discrepancy. It doesn't like it just doesn't make any fucking sense, especially considering the expense of the war. Like the amount of money that this has cost Israel just to kill 50,000 civilians over 3 years when their goal is genocide. Like it's an absurd fucking claim. You can also look at the proportion of deaths. The militant to civilian casualty ratio doesn't confer a genocide. The proportion of fighting age male deaths versus non-fighting age deaths, so like deaths of children and deaths of women, again, it's clearly disproportionate. They're targeting fighting age males, which is consistent with them just attacking Hamas. They've also facilitated humanitarian aid. I don't know what fucking genocide has ever occurred where they facilitated humanitarian aid. They've given warnings and evacuation orders. I don't know of any genocide where they gave warnings and evacuation orders. Just like, yeah. Stewart is just a fucking retard.
The terrible the collateral, of an urban war that forced Israel to fight behind because Hamas was holding their hostages and refused to disarm and send our people back home.
I think they've killed like 1,200 Palestinians since the ceasefire.
Yeah, that's because they're bad Hamas people.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy understands what a ceasefire is. Like, you understand there's ceasefire terms. Like, ceasefire doesn't mean there's absolutely no shooting or killing under any and all circumstances, you fucking retard.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were killing Hamas leadership. And I think that's necessary, when you have people that were responsible for organizing.
Fucking dumbass. Yeah, that's definitely ketamine. Yeah, that's ketamine, all right. In Zoran Mondani's New York, people are now being attacked for walking their dogs because dogs are haram in Islam. Not sure if that's what's going on, but okay, yeah, that's probably what's going on. Dude, if Muslims harassed me for walking my fucking dog, they'd be feeding through a tube for the rest of their fucking life.
What's happening right now? Deadass.
Fucking chimpanzees. Oh, the blind girl. Blind influencer is being brutally mocked after leaving her boyfriend of 2 years because he was ugly, only to begin dating an immigrant man who robbed her just days into their relationship. What?
People always ask me, if you're blind, are you not scared of accidentally dating someone ugly? And I'm here to tell you, guys, I did. For like nearly 2.5 years, guys. I recently got ghosted by a man that took loads of money out of my bank account in front of my face. But obviously I didn't know he was doing it because I'm blind. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Let me know if you want that story. So, I am single. What does that mean? Well, it means I've got a lot.
She was clearly making a joke, like, about dating an ugly guy. But yeah, she's blind, so I'm sure she can't tell his skin tone, but if you notice somebody has a particular accent, you know, of African descent, and they're young, maybe don't date them. Stay away from fucking immigrants.
More time. Genuinely, I'm enjoying the freedom of being.
It's pretty fucking, like, it's always white chicks, dude. Oh, I'm progressive. I'm not racist. I'll date a fucking Sudanese immigrant. Oh, he robbed me, and luckily this time he didn't rape and kill me either. Dodo. So this just more fucking Jon Stewart horse
So
shit?
for you, you could agree with them 90%, but Israel is the red line.
Absolutely. Israel for me. Like I can't ever turn my back to Israel after where it's at.
So, and I mean no disrespect on this, but that is not our country. You're saying that these candidates may have great...
They're a close ally, and all the candidates that are anti-Israel are communist retards. Like, Israel's just a good litmus test for sanity, just in general, but also just what your political allegiances really are.
Ideas for our economy. They may want to do the exact same thing you want to do in terms of getting money out of politics. They may want to increase the social safety net. They may want to change the balance of power from capital back to labor. But if they don't agree with you on Israel, you don't want them in your party.
Well, I don't know who you're referencing to specifically.
No, I'm referencing what you just said.
Name
So
one.
in other words, Syed or AOC or Bernie Sanders.
Oh, DSA brain rot retards. Do you want them in your party? Obviously not.
I assume you agree with a lot of what they say economically.
And what I'm saying is, like, if you are a DSA member, if you are a member of a specific political party, run under your own banner. And now I think Bill Maher said something very insightful. He said, you know, the DSA are colonizing the Democratic Party. So just be Democrats if you're going to run under the Democratic Party for that. Why have a DSA party for overall? So run on that, and you all understand.
It's just an organization. It's not, we have a two-party system. We don't, it's like.
Okay, retard. Why, like, isn't he rich? Why the fuck is he even involving himself in politics? Kalshi defends plan to bet on lives of cancer patients. How is this not just another type of death market, like markets for war assassination? Turning cancer patients into a prop bet is one of them. That's exactly why New York won't let companies like Kalshi break our laws. What is this? I don't know what the fuck this is. To those who say it's her choice, I used to say the same thing about my own hijab. I was covered head to toe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she can't. She's forced to wear it.
Having a close association with him, given some of his past statements, to give you...
Defense Son Piker for saying America deserved 9/11. We have to get above cancel culture. Like, if Hassan said the Jews deserve the Holocaust, would Bernie Sanders say we need to get above cancel culture? Like, that's That's not cancel culture. That's holding somebody accountable who has adversarial beliefs to the fucking country he lives in.
You an example, one of the more controversial ones is that Piker has said America deserved 9/11. Are you comfortable with that association?
No, I am not. I think that's a dumb statement. On the other hand, he has a whole lot of followers, and there's a lot of things that he's saying that are making sense to a lot of people. I think, we have.
He's a retard. Like, we know he's a retard. This is all Bernie can do. Oh, here's a popular social media figure. I'm going to support popular social media figure even though he's a retard because that's the only hope I have of, bringing my political career back from the dead. This guy's a piece of shit. He's fucking 84 years old. Just, fucking smoke cigars on your porch and yell at skateboard kids.
Have to get above cancel culture. When you're doing radio, whatever they do, podcasts 3 hours a day, you say dumb things. I suspect.
Yeah, I've never said America deserved 9/11, Jews deserve the Holocaust, women deserve to get raped. I've never said something quite that fucking stupid in my life. Are you kidding me? That's his excuse? Oh, everybody says stuff like that. That's pathetic.
Man, that's pretty sweet.
So say you didn't want to reach that.
Sweet.
You're in a hack squat position.
Yeah.
And then you finish back in a standing bar squat position.
Yeah, that's wild.
But what it does for hips, glutes, quads, and hamstrings, it hits all those in different stages of the movement.
It does.
That looks stupid. Dodo. High-speed illegal e-bikes, issuing cease-desist orders, 42 reelers. Ugh, so fucking dumb. The issue isn't that the e-bikes go fast, it's that people are driving them like idiots. Just ticket people for dangerous driving. That's all you have to fucking do.
To keep the state of Michigan and to win back the gavel for Democrats so that we can start holding Donald Trump accountable. I can't wait to sit across RFK Jr. and actually grill him. Dude uses big words he does not understand, and I happen to go to medical school, so I kind of understand them.
He never went to medical school, as far as I understand.
It is going to be a good time holding him accountable for all of the grift that he has pushed on the American public.
So if you win, that's the Trump official
Yeah, didn't this guy lie about being a doctor?
you most want to see testifying before you win the Senate.
I think it's the Trump official that most people would probably like to see me stand up against because, look, I'm a guy with a doctorate in medicine and in public health.
Yeah, I don't think this guy actually has a doctorate in medicine.
He's a guy who takes his kids swimming in Schitt's Creek.
You're a guy who supports 9/11 and terrorism. So, I give a fuck what you have to say, dipshit. Fucking Abdul. Let's just ban anybody named Abdul from, going into the country.
In your navy blue, you've got Haley Stevens. In your Columbia blue, you've got Abdullah Sayed. And what you see here is you see that Haley Stevens did particularly well in this corridor. And what's African?
Yeah, she got the black vote, and basically college retired white girls voted for Abdul. Yeah. Why is he meowing like that? It's your cat. Those are other cats. Oh my god, you're doing cat stuff. Wow, look how cat-like. Oh my goodness. Such cat.
I'm not trying to pitch.
Very cat.
You don't like me. I do.
Good cats. Let's see, a group of white girls. They're going to say something stupid.
This is actually something that we committed to at convention, having our endorsed candidates supporting the program. It's a requirement now. And so that'll be incorporated into our endorsement process.
It sounds so radical, like abolish the Senate, abolish the Supreme Court, like et cetera, but it's not. Like those are the things that need to happen.
So whenever people are like, oh my God, they want to get rid of the president, I was like, well, I don't know what we would call it in the future. We could call it the head honcho of whatever, like.
Is that the fucking dumb bitch? Yeah, Emma Vigland. Oh my God. Bro. Never, ever, ever listen to white women in particular, especially if they went to college. Like, holy fuck, they are so dumb. Jesus Christ, that is stupid. Fucking Emma Vigland. Thanks, Dodo. Elias, Turkish racism is something else. Staunch Turnist, Pan-Turkistan racist, from the same blood, therefore Turks, but alien people. Okay, I don't know who the fuck that is. Shia jihadis or something else. Why is Iraq like this? The style exists literally nowhere else. What happened? That looks gay as shit. Bro, there has to be a ton of gay Muslims. Way more than they want to admit. You can just tell by their haircut they suck dick. There has to be a lot of gay dudes in Muslim countries. Thoughts on GHKCU peptide? I got acne. That's not going to help your acne. Thanks, Elias. It'll help with collagen synthesis, but it's not going to do anything for acne. Dodo, Abdul lied about being a physician, but is a doctor. What do you mean by that? AIPAC has no place in the Democratic Party. Okay. I'll say it has received more raw votes in Dearborn than Harris did in 2024. Yeah, it's because of Muslims. In Russia, a maniac who killed or raped 11 female students will go to war against Ukraine after serving only 3 years of his 25-year sentence. Well, it's a death sentence, so... Yeah, he is dead, so... He is getting the death penalty. I'll say it has officially won the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Michigan. He's running on Medicaid for all and taxing the rich. Medicaid for all isn't necessarily a bad idea. Taxing the rich, that's just fucking retarded. Thanks, Dodo. Why is Destiny so weak, useless, and pathetic? He's literally got low T. I'm pretty sure somebody said he got his testosterone checked and it was at least under 400, which is by definition hypogonadal. While people like Hassan and Emma Vigland are infiltrating his political party, he just laughs at anti-Semitic videos Brian Tyler Cohen posts and doesn't call out Mamdani or Adam Mockler and lets it all happen. He has no real, genuine, serious political interests. He's just a fucking joke. He's just some dumb fucking brain rot streamer. Thanks, Dodo.
Has always been focused on the material needs of working class people. And I would say that to the extent that you've broken from Democratic Party policy, it's usually around economic issues, healthcare, et cetera. There are some DSA candidates today, including some who've won their primaries this cycle, who've also talked about abolishing prisons, defunding or even abolishing the police, abolishing borders. You've never been for any of that. Are you?
Well, here's the benefit with abolishing the police. We can literally do whatever the fuck we want. So everybody can just take up their guns, shoot all the people we don't like. So criminals, Muslims, immigrants. So that might turn out very differently than what they suspect. So yeah, abolish the police. Let Americans be fed up with Muslims and do something about it without the police getting in the fucking way. It's just so retarded from top to bottom.
Worried that taking those positions, which are unpopular with most voters and even most Democrats, sort of hurt the movement that you've worked really hard to build?
Well, look, people have different views, and what you know as well as I do, that the right wing, that's their job, right? They will take what one person said and put, $80 billion of TV ads on it and make it claim every Democrat supports that. No serious person that I know who is running for office believes in quote unquote defunding the police.
All the DSA people believe that, and it's spreading throughout the Democratic Party, even those who don't identify as DSA.
Mayor for 8 years. I work very closely with cops. They have a very difficult job. Do we need police reform? Do we need to get rid of racism within police departments? Absolutely. Are there jobs that other people can be doing in terms of mental health, drug addiction, and outfalls? This
is just gaslighting horse shit. He's a fucking idiot. DSA, socialist types do not play the same rules as Democrats, liberals. If we're unaware of how they operate, we will always lose to them. Lying and disinformation is part of what they do. They operate exactly the same as MAGA. August 2nd, blah, 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 intentionally propagated a fake story about Haley Stevens' campaign, lying about an inside campaign leak, claiming she was down about 14 points. And next tweet, he claimed 4+ different people have been able to confirm anonymously. Lamba is an Indian-born New York resident anonymously operating the UMIC voter account, giving heavy commentary on Michigan's recent primary at its peak. The original false story garnered over 900,000 views in just an original tweet. Unfortunately, that's not the entire story. Number of other targets DSA-aligned socialists on X began to push the same story without any regard to fact-checking, including Hassan the Hun, known for sporting Houthis and Hezbollah terror attacks, as well as electrocuting animals. Yeah. Others have acknowledged the potential impact this could have had on the race, with Lamba eventually deleting the tweet himself and saying as much. Known for abusing couches and cheeseburgers, retweeted another post thanking Lamba for discouraging. Blah, blah. The actual pollster for Haley Stevens came out and confirmed pretty soon after the original tweet the story is complete nonsense. So, yeah, that's what they do. Signed up to phone bank for Haley Stevens' campaign. Can't wait to tell Michigan voters how much he loves data centers in Israel. You are now registered with Haley Stevens for Senate. Okay. That's insane. And
in the last few days, some polls, including some that frankly aren't that reliable, had shown perhaps a double-digit victory for El Sayed. That was the way a lot of people...
Well, in a general election, he's going to get absolutely fucking demolished. Like, it's not even going to be close. So it's just a joke. Thanks, Dodo. I mean, Abdul is a medical doctor, but is not a practicing physician, never was, because he went into public health and epidemiology immediately out of school. Did he go through residency? Because if he didn't go through residency, he's not a medical doctor. He just got the doctorate degree. That's it. Thanks, Dodo. Elias, LMAO. Well, yeah, that's literally women's romance novels. He deals with his PTSD with humor. Russian soldier returned from the war to his home when some children asked him to show them how hand grenades explode, took out a real hand grenade, pulled the safety pin, then threw it in front of them. Moments later, the grenade exploded, resulting in damage to several cars in the area. There's almost no chance I can watch that on YouTube.
Санек, что, порвем? Давай. Не надо. Нет, вы туда в кусты кинем. Она только шумовая. Разорвут там. Иди выдергивай. Ну выдерни, а я брошу. Выдергивай кольцо.
Ты чё, блядь, а? Ебанутый, сука, блядь! Блядь, иди нахуй, блядь! Ой, блядь!
Okay, that wasn't bad, but thought somebody was gonna die. Those are probably the most ugliest butts I've ever seen. Yeah, they're not great. Yeah, definitely not great. Based Islamophobic kid. Why are Twitter links doing this where every time you send a link, it's like scrolling down?
Oh, it feels so unique, man, as you come back and just like you're laying back.
And you're putting your head back, which is what a lot of people don't do. It works better when you keep your head back on the pad.
Yeah,
Come
that
low,
machine looks stupid.
kind of decline.
That machine also looks stupid.
It just allows you to do a whole lot of chest.
I don't know why you do this.
Oh, the multi-chest.
Yeah, that's not magnetic.
No, it's a compression friction
This looks stupid.
resistance.
Really?
Super durable.
And if you want to load the legs up here, you can get depth with something like this torque wedge or really good depth here. Load it up this way.
Yeah. Do you see
Okay, that's for grandmas.
this is like a full home gym replacement for a lot of people?
It totally could be, because and I say this all the time, for like when COVID hit, what got me doing this stuff was I had gone much bigger stretch to start, and this feels awesome.
MRA. Expected to be released, price point expectations.
Learned to TIG weld when I was 6 years old. This would probably be our easy curl bar we came out with.
I would say she's right, actually. What is this Islam?
To have and to hold from this day forth.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poor.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And obey.
Yeah, help the invaders. Good idea. Fuck the Red Cross. Yeah, I've seen this. This guy's a beta male faggot. That guy wears gay-ass glittery earrings, and he's a skinny-ass fucking twink, and then he made this dumbass fucking video about soy being feminizing, and he's talking about me of all people.
Glasses of soy milk every day.
I tried to set up a debate with that guy, too. He's actually a fucking retard. Like, he can't follow a single sentence. He kept changing his statement around. And literally, when I called him out for being a feminized beta male fucking faggot twink, like, again, he's skinny as shit and wears glittery little sparkly earrings. Like, he just flat out refused to acknowledge, like, he's actually just a little bitch.
And I eat a block of tofu maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay, so first of all, this is the guy who is claiming that soy destroys masculinity, and this is the guy who he is claiming is feminine because he consumes soy.
Yeah. According to carnivore dieters, this is masculine, this is feminine. So I think that just proves they're probably just gay.
Now, yes, he has admitted to hopping on steroids in the last year, but here's him prior to hopping on steroids. And close to worthless anecdotes aside, soy has not been found to lower testosterone in men. Amazing.
I dropped that guy in his head. I saw that one. Study reveals cognitive decline linked to a drinking Diet Coke. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Thanks, Dodo.
I bet you could turn that guy into a botchy boy just like Mom Donnie, VG.
Probably could. Thanks, Dodo.
Yeah, that thing's nice.
It took a lot of prototyping to get it right.
We have our multi-flight. Everyone knows the multi-flight. They know it. They love it.
So we're calling it DARK, Digital Resistance Retrofit Kit.
Sick.
So that's going to be awesome if you want to remove your stack and put the Voltra. People are going to ask, can I use the stack and the Voltra?
Yeah.
Our testing is not, we don't want to go that way.
Yeah.
Because it starts to pull the if you have it on the front of the weight.
Oh,
pin.
sure. Yeah.
We just don't have enough testing to do it, and I'd rather just have the stack removed.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's the multi-flight. So here's a new machine, and we have it on the other side. This is, we're calling the Quadrilogy. So we had
Quadrilogy.
Yeah,
nice.
we had the trilogy, we had the leg extension,
Sick.
V1, 2, 3.
Yep.
This is the Quadrilogy.
Okay.
What's new about this is mostly everything. It looks the same, but we've reinforced every part of the structure.
Okay.
The entire machine with the stack is about 50 pounds heavier. You have more reinforcement, more, just little details. Yep. Everything's welded differently.
Oh, yeah.
And a much bigger cam for a higher felt weight.
Dodo. Let me see. I don't think I fucking care to listen to any of this stupid shit.
Known to his hooligans as Tommy Robinson. Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting against you tonight, and without the protection and generosity of a Muslim Palestinian president and a mostly South Asian executive committee, you would be quite literally cooked. Stephen Yaxley Lennon, known to his hooligans as Tommy Robinson. Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting.
She's saying she she has a problem with Tommy Robinson, and then proving exactly what Tommy Robinson says, that Muslims are violent. Like Tommy goes around saying Muslims are violent and have an intolerant culture, and then she goes on to say, "You're lucky the police exist, or else we'd kill you." Like, these people are genuinely deranged retards.
To celebrate Ryan's birthday.
I love it. Caesar salad. A leaf of lettuce.
This is the crema di tartufo.
I don't care. That one link is broken.
Why is there a field of ice in the middle of the arid Gobi Desert? And these, but usually ago, lots of big.
Don't care.
Kosovo. For years, the US backed the Western Balkans integration into the EU.
We are united in our goals to see you in NATO and EU as quickly as you possibly can.
Now it is spreading a new message there.
It's not politically correct, but it's so obvious that Europe is a disaster.
There are two sides to this shift: security interests and economic interests. On security, the US State Department announced recently that the US-led nation-building era has passed. But what does that mean? Let's look into Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Boring.
Two of our Omni. You got to turn the pull down. Okay. So the flat pull down. Okay.
Yeah,
This. Yeah. Then your hands are all.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Because it's so solid, and the arm. So if you had a tighter belt, you could definitely go deeper. This unlocks.
That looks okay for a belt squat.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
okay.
deep enough, but I think a lot of that's the belt. But it is smooth.
Yeah, you could set up a little platform too. That's an alright idea. Titan Fitness.
Genius. Now, it has lately seemed like they've been coming out with more machines. One they came out last year was this T-bar row, or chest supported row, which is an absolute monster. Now, items like this are much more focused, I would say, on commercial gyms than home gyms, but it's a really sick, really nice feeling piece. But they have a new piece right here, which is a lat pull down. They're using leverage on a lot of this stuff. So these are levered pieces, harkening back to like hammer strength pieces. It's kind of cool. They're doing the 1-inch holes all throughout. So if you are using this in a home gym, it's a great way where you can add things to it. But this is my first time using it, just see how it feels. It's not bad.
That is such a fucking pig to put in a home gym.
It's not bad. The problem, inspired in some ways by Atlantis, this platform both angles, but kind of like the Predator strength version. It's on linear bearing guide rods, so it goes forward and back. There's a lever underneath the platform, or if I just click this up, that allows you to unlock it and move it forward and back. Not a ton of travel, actually, less than I'd expect, but it does give you optionality, and then you can adjust this. But something that I do really like on this, so if you notice, this is here, and you're like, well, what's this for? That's not even on the right side. This is there as an offset. So this is gonna offset the weight when you're using it, and you can do it at different angles so it offsets at different portions of the movement. So it changes the strength curve. It's like a home gym, like at Home Gym Con. But let me show you how to the movement.
Unfortunately, Titan Fitness still doesn't ship to Canada.
So it's not an auto unlock. They're nice when they auto unlock. Basically, you come up and then it unlocks. You got to do it yourself. Handles here. That probably feels best to me. That's also not good. It's just free spinning.
That's pretty stupid.
So, there we go.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sure it doesn't do that on the retail model. You'd hope not. Does feel pretty good though. But man, it's a big piece. That's a wrap. 2026.
You know. That's a nice lion. It's a very nice lion.
What would your advice be to someone who can't gain any weight aside from taking steroids, of course? I upped my calories from 1800 to 2000 to 4000 to 5000 for about 2 months and somehow ended up losing 2 kilograms of weight. My body just heats up and burns excess away.
You're delusional, so I can't help you. Thanks, Ted.
Big lion.
Like, go see a therapist, I guess. But, you're clearly just delusional. That's a nice big lion. Wow, lion cuddles.
There are a whole bunch of really important biochemical processes that you don't really think about that testosterone regulates. And if you push a dose up too high too quick, acne, bloating, blood pressure issues. And you might get put off that dose and say, well, that dose isn't right for me. No, you just got that too quick. If you've never drank coffee before and you started with a triple espresso, you're going to be like, coffee's not for me. Same with testosterone. Gonadal state, as opposed to truly optimizing the 8.5. It's less like
Frank Tufano upload any more horse shit?
So the county is basically saying my building's worth $2 million when it's worth a few $100,000, and they're trying to charge me taxes on it. And when I filed the appeal, the first time they didn't notify me of the hearing, so I missed it. The second time they just returned my mail and then didn't even let me submit the appeal paperwork. The first lawsuit I filed was thrown away by the judge, and now I'm gonna have to file a second lawsuit. They're probably just gonna do the same thing. So they're not providing me due process. All of the judges are wiping their ass with my lawsuits. And
he always says this, but we know he's a retard and he doesn't even ever bother hiring a lawyer, so he has no clue what he's fucking doing. He's just always the victim in every situation.
And no attorneys are going to help me either, because they'll just say it's conflict of interest, and they're all in the club too. So, as I said in the longer video, I don't really have any options here besides just make this as public as possible and hope they do the right thing and set the taxes to the appraised value, which I had professionally appraised, and just let things go. I mean, look, I don't care. Steal my fucking buildings. Let me go to California and hand out flyers the rest of my life. I'm sick of this dog shit. Why the fuck do I want to be in this shithole anyway? I am absolutely disgusted by these corrupt parasites for the county of Lackawanna that have been trying to steal everyone's property through unfair tax assessments for the last 2 years. So I submitted my appeal hearing last year, and they purposely...
This doesn't make any sense. I've seen some weird appraisal things happen where people have added additions to their home. So they lived in one-story house, just like a main floor and a basement, and then they ended up adding a second story.
How am I delusional? I have notes of weight and calorie intake measurements I did every day for every meal for nearly 2 months. Like what you want to see it? How is that delusional? Are you saying I'm dreaming it all up and live in some alternate reality?
Yes, because it's absolutely completely fucking impossible that you would go from eating only 2,000 calories a day to up to 5,000 calories a day, and you lost 2 kilograms. Why weren't you losing, like what? That would basically be, let's just go with the average. So let's say 4,500. You said 4,000 to 5,000. So you're talking about an increase in calories of about 2,500 per day. So 2,500 per day times 7, that equals 17,500 additional calories per week. And you're saying you lost 4 kilograms. So, you ended up losing 2 kilograms. So if that ends up making you lose 2 kilograms after 2 fucking months, that means from what you were eating before, you should have been losing 5 pounds per week, at least. So, like you're just retarded. You're making it up. You're fucking delusional. I don't care what you fucking say. It's not happening.
Purposefully didn't notify me of my hearing, so I couldn't even go to it. And then after filing 2 lawsuits against the county judge wiped with my lawsuit as if it was toilet paper and just threw it out. Now this year...
Oh yeah, so I've seen weird appraisal situations where people have added like a second story to their house, and then because property values increased in general, and then their house ended up getting reappraised, and then rather than it being $500,000, it ended up being like $2 million. I've seen stupid shit like that, but Frank didn't make, like, first of all, he lives in fucking Pennsylvania, like that area where he's living in that shitty, like he's got that shitty fucking building. He didn't make any additions to it. Like nothing changed. Like he changed some of the refrigeration units. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't believe him when he says his property's worth like 300 grand or something, and then they're saying it's worth $2 million. Like, bullshit.
The appeal hearings were due August 1st, which was several days ago. I mailed them in, and I almost had a stroke, or a heart attack, probably both at the same time, when they were returned to me in the mail. So the first thing I did when I got those documents back, I filled out a new set of forms.
Why does he dress like a fucking weird broke retard all the time?
Went right down to the office and tried to submit them today. They didn't take them. I explained, hey, look, I mailed these in last week. You guys returned them. Maybe something was incorrect, but can you take the documents today? They said no. So not only am I going to be pinned for 1 year of unfair tax valuations, now it's 2. I mean, they might as well steal my building and I can finally retire in front of Dr. Taban's office and hand out flyers for the rest of my life. Because how is every single thing like pulling teeth? Every single week, someone else is trying to steal money from me. I'm dealing with these corrupt...
Like, he's clearly just delusional.
Freemason lunatics, these self-serving, delusional jerk-offs who think they own everything. And for those of you guys that keep saying, oh, Frank, what's that tattoo on your neck? It's upside down, dude. It's because these people have ruined my life. And I got that neck tattoo when my life was ruined by these people. And the only person that would recognize that symbol, because it's upside down and misshapen, is someone that belongs to that group. So these people, these elite that have been trying to steal my building for the last...
He's genuinely delusional and crazy.
2 years, now what? I'm just gonna file another set of lawsuits for the judge to wipe his ass with again? It's just completely ridiculous. I'm so upset, I'm so disgusted. And I mean, why do I care anyway? Like, why do I care that I submitted the appeal documentation this year? Are they just, like last year, they purposefully didn't notify me of the hearing. What were they gonna do this year? Just, I guess they might have done it on purpose. They might have sent the documents back on purpose. They might have said, hey, this is Frank Tufano's appeal documents, send them back so he can't submit them. And then when he comes to bring them in, just deny him. They could have done it on purpose. They could have denied that mail from me on purpose and done it so I didn't get my documents in on time, and that gives them a reason to not give me an appeal hearing. But again, it's the denial of due process. They're corrupt as hell. I honestly, I wish they stole my building already so I could just stop dealing with this nonsense. Why do I bother, you know? This guy Taban should pay me $30 million and I can retire and not deal with this bullshit every week. It's completely fucking ridiculous. It's completely disgusting. Like, what, I'm gonna hand out flyers in front of the courthouse every day here to get something done? You know? No attorney will help me. They're all, everyone's in the pockets of these lunatics. No attorney will help me. No judge will do the right thing. There's nothing I can do.
Why does he even bother uploading this? Like, this does not help him in any material way. So, dumb. Very dumb. Ugh. I don't think I can really... it picks up sound okay-ish. I think I'm kind of muffled. Yeah.
What would be funnier, Sneeko getting deported from the US or Frank getting exposed again for doing gay porn and having to make a video admitting to it?
Sneeko getting deported. Thanks, nigga. No. I don't know how you people think this is Spawn. It's clearly fucking Bane. Spawn doesn't have red eyes, you retard.
Took that Adderall, boy. We got some menthol cigarettes, and we got some people, right? And actually, we're gonna be double scooping the demonic today. We might fucking die.
Channel does not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational.
Too. Feeling a lot of it. I'm feeling a lot. My endorphins are. My dopamine is so high right now. It's like the endorphins I receive when I'm getting some head or something. I ate so much the last 2 days to prepare for this fucking bench and deadlift session. What are you doing? Deadlifts too or no? Just bench? Let's see, man. Let's play by ear. We got some new heavy ass dumbbells. These dumbbells, motherfucker, these bitches going up to 180, bro. So I gotta put them to use. All right.
Don't even have the 10s through the fucking 100s yet.
Yeah, you got the 100s through the 180s before the 10s.
You got the expensive part out the way.
Yeah, the hard part. You want a baby aspirin? It's good for the pump. It's really good for the pump. Take it. All right, take it. Some D-ball. Look at that. YouTube ain't gonna like this one. This is Eastern medicine, right? It comes from China, so it's Eastern medicine. I want a preference. Don't try this at home. I shouldn't have to say that. I've seen someone say that about the C-Bum's promoting Trent because our name's Trent.
It's an oxymoron.
No,
I don't even take Trent anymore.
It's not about the trend that I may have took once or twice. It's about what's in here in my heart. Fucking Trenergy, man. Let's not talk about him on here. I mean, I didn't get the phrase torta pounder for no reason, man. Yeah, I've been with a linebacker or two. Who's judging? You haven't lived if you haven't been with. Right now, this shit been kicking in. I'm feeling super focused, ready to get into this workout. That's where I'm at with it right now. Sweat my ass off, had to take the jacket off. We're gonna get into the first few sets here. I'm trying to PR today, so hopefully 550 will be fucking incredible. And then see what we can get on the dumbbells. And then we'll come over here to deadlift. Why these on here? I mean, like a lot. Determine this shit. Come on. Make this shit look easy, man. Make this shit fly, bro. Oh, yeah. Good. I think we good. Dude, are you gonna fucking rep this shit? Yeah. What? Fuck it. What do you mean? What do you mean am I gonna rep this? What do you mean? I'm asking you a question. Are you gonna? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking rep it. Hey, come on, bro. What the fuck do you mean? You're not gonna rep this. You don't want this shit.
I mean, I was always lean. If I eat more than my body uses, then it burns it up. My doctor said it was some fucked metabolism. And it's not hard to add a ton of fat-based calories into a blender/meals, but thanks for nothing, dude. I'll just shoot roids up my ass.
I don't know what that's gonna do for you. But again, you're just delusional. Thanks, dude.
Wasn't flying today, man. Let's go, baby. Come on. I think I could add 25. What's up? You touched it, bro. Why the f you touch it? Oh, you fucking ruined it, man. I see your hands, bro. I see your hands. I didn't know what was going on. Bro, you paused prep that. Yeah. What was that? Come on, baby. Come on, man. Fucking yes! Oh, I got a fucking deadlift now. I got a fucking PR deadlift. You face the consequences. You have to live with all of this. You get what you deserve when you live this stuff. She knows the truth. Her past is catching up with you. You get what you deserve when you live this stuff. When you live this life. Woo! When you live this whole life. But is it that serious? Yes, the f it is. It's that serious to me. My bad. My fault. Oh, you good, bro. My fault, no. My fault for being passionate about some shit. Hey, my fault, twin, for actually loving some shit and being passionate about it and having the internal drive to get pissed over it. My fault, twin. Optimal isn't fucking real, bro. Do it myself. Do it myself. I don't want nobody else. I let you in. I let you in, and you infected me. Can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. I'm pulling through. Oh, fuck.
They kind of do weird workouts.
Oh, shit. Damn. I want some pump. I want to get some pumpish. I want to hit them dumbbells. Simon, what do you think? What do you think, Simon? Oh, military press. Military press pisses me off so. I just want to get so fucking good at it because it just pisses me off. This machine is so strong. It's bending reality and it's giving us. Catch my brother breathing back. You know, this at all, you know, dude. This is a bucket of shit on each side, man. Fuck. I don't know. Hey, just give me a nice man.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Larry Wheels did 500 and now he's a fucking streamer. You want to do less than a fucking streamer, man? Wait. Larry been fucking with you? No, okay. Come on. Yes. Okay. You face the consequence. The 180's Mike.
This is all one workout? Like, this is just weird.
Yes. Come on, baby. Lock in. Come on. Son of... You good? Protect my face. Just protect my face. Yes! Yeah!
I don't know how they don't get injured more often.
Hell yeah, brother! That's a fucking brother, man!
Oh.
You know what? Turns out this one's actually more uncomfortable than the other mask. That one presses on my nose a bit harder. It's actually harder to breathe than that one, too. This one's easier. Yeah.
Brother of the sun! Oh, the rooster didn't even come yet. Any of the bitches. Oh, there it is. Damn good. It'll be worth every fucking second. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming this wasn't edited chronologically.
Just feel it out, man. Do that shit. I might go play. Oh, it ain't gonna do shit.
They really eat like shit. I'm surprised they're comfortable eating that way while being on steroids. Because usually when people eat like that on steroids, they end up having a lot of water retention and issues like that.
So next day, how we feeling? Post.
That's a nice cat.
Overload. I feel like shit today.
Oh, they got two nice big kitties.
I go lie, my dopamine. I guess it's a side effect. Holy shit. Adderall. I felt like depressed as fuck all day, dude. I woke up. Like I took it and I had to take a whole nap. I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. I think we took like 700 milligrams of caffeine. The Adderall 10 milligrams. This day was cooked. Day was cooked. My body back cooked. I think I was so stimmed up I didn't feel the deadlifts at the moment. We ended up working out for like an hour, 2 hours. It was a good time. It was worth it. Yeah, it was a great time. It was like I'm dust all day. Like, no, all day. Yeah, all day. I've been no, I don't know.
You're so hot. I wanna eat you. Thoughts on the Perez Hilton live steam?
Yeah, he needs to learn how to cut himself properly. He wasn't doing it deep enough, and he was missing the right spots. Literally don't give a shit about Perez Hilton. The guy's worthless, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care. Thanks, Poison Ivy.
We talk about performance enhancing drugs, Joe. People they misunderstand. They say, "Oh yeah, but it still doesn't make the difference." Yes, it does make the difference. And
oh, it makes a difference. Let me tell you.
An athlete, and the reason is, in the 80s, it was giving you more power, more stamina, more endurance. Now, man, with the technology, they have stuff that will change your reaction time, your confidence.
There has not been a new steroid made since the 1980s. So those same benefits that people are experiencing today, they're experiencing back then.
Your reset time. And this is a huge...
The only difference compared to the 80s is growth hormone exists, but it's not a steroid, it's peptide.
Huge application, man. If you play baseball or you're in fighting, you see the things coming, you have your reaction time, you're sharper.
Yeah, testosterone will do that. Anavar will do that. Masteron will do that. Primobolan will do that. Trenbolone will do that. Just about every steroid will do that.
In the brain, what makes a guy athletic, it's not his muscle. The reason why Usain Bolt is he run faster, there's many reasons why, but one of the main reasons is because his brain, his nervous system is better.
Yeah, steroids enhance nervous system efficiency. That's just something they do. Again, there hasn't been a new steroid made since the 1980s.
Better. We talk about performance.
Can't remember what it was. It might have been Anavar. AI. Okay, well, that doesn't exactly count. Yeah, the clear in 2003, that I wouldn't say that exactly counts. Dianabol, Winstrol, Anavar were invented and improved between 50s and 60s. I can't remember which steroid was the last one invented, but it was either like late 70s or early 80s. They have not made much development on anabolic steroids since then, which is a shame. Because if these drugs were still being researched and tested, we'd have much better steroids by now that are more effective and safer. Oh. Oh, wow.
Hey,
Oh.
what? Can I get the phone?
Those are big paws. Oh, do you guys see that? Oh.
Easy.
So big.
Stop.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. That is so good. That's really good.
Get your hands up.
Oh, that is so good. That's great. Wow.
Why are you biting that?
Who do you think had sex with more black guys in their life? I count down 10 tens as guys, Big Lenny or the Prophet Muhammad.
Probably Big Lenny. Yeah, probably Big Lenny. Thanks, nigga. Prophet Muhammad probably had sex with at least a dozen, though. Eh... Maybe I'll react to that next stream. Oh, dude, Jank is so retarded. Down goes APAC. So basically, if the Democratic Party just gets overtaken by the DSA, they're just going to invest more in the Republican Party, and then Democrats are going to get that much less funding, be that much less likely to win an election.
They're so stupid. All right. I think I am going to go to bed now. It is quite late, and I did a lot of fucking streaming. That last stream was like 5 hours.
What do you think of Zendaya? I don't understand the hype. Her face is mid and she has no tits and no ass.
I don't give a shit who that is, and I don't even remember who she is. Thanks, Pooh. So... yeah, I did a 5-hour stream with Gary and James earlier, and then I had to take a nap after that, but I am beat at this point. So I'm gonna get some more sleep. Plan for tomorrow is to train chest, shoulders, triceps. So we'll stream that, and then normal stream later. So that'll be going on. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it.